Alright, boys and girls. I've been keeping this a secret from you guys for just way too long. It's really starting to eat up on me, and I don't think I can keep it hidden any longer. You guys know we have some spiders, right? You know, we got the Goliath bird eater, the curly hair, the green bottle blue, everything like that. However, that's only part of it. Because the thing is, we kinda now have 13 different spiders, and I'm gonna show them all to you right now. Make sure to stick around. We are gonna be showing off some absolutely rare and amazing species of tarantulas. Subscribe if you're new. Please don't unsubscribe because I did clickbait. Let's get into it. And over the past week or so, I've been kinda throwing out some teasers, just a little something with tarantulas, just to make sure that this is the type of content that would do well on my channel. Obviously, I've been doing geckos and reptiles for the past 4 years. Adding a brand new species that isn't even reptile related is a little bit of a risk when you're talking about a reptile-only channel. But from what I can see, you guys have enjoyed it. I mean, the Goliath bird eater one, that's a number 2 out of 10, which is for YouTubers talk for saying it's a very good video. So I do just want to take a second and just kind of take a little flashback on the tarantulas we had talk about. Now, the first one is obviously going to be the green bottle blue. I've had this GBB for quite a while. I believe almost a year now. He has grown so much, he or she. I don't know the sex of it. I just know it is a spider. I bought this little dude when it was like this big, this tight of a butthole, and now look at it. Big, loose butthole. The tarantula that started it all, I guess the very first tarantula I owned was actually my ex's, which was an Arizona blonde, but then I was like, nah, I want cool tarantula, and what is the most basic cool tarantula you can get? Of course, the green bottle blue, which was why it was my first purchase of a tarantula. This is where the timeline gets a little skewed, because you think the next one we are going to be talking about is probably the Goliath bird eater, which, while yes, that is true, the fact of the matter is I actually got the Goliath bird eater at the same time I got all of these tarantulas down here that we are going to talk about. These are the brand new ones. However, the Goliath one wasn't going in an enclosure sponsorship that we are going to be talking about next video. So we had to go in enclosure, and so I had to make a video because I'm a YouTuber, and that's literally my job. If anything is at most anything with animals, it has to be filmed, or else you die. Comes to the Goliath bird eating video, I will be the first to admit I might have taken the sensationalism a little too far and overdid my reactions. I mean, let's be clear. This is a big spider. This is a very big spider. I mean, it's the biggest spider. I believe it is a gigantic thing. And of course there is some reservations and a little bit fearness when you own something that was first just this big right here, and now you are working with something that big. It can be a little scary. However, at that time, I did over-exaggerate my feelings. While my heart was racing a little bit, I definitely was not as scared as I made it out to be. And yes, for the comments, I did not mean to slam the door, okay? God, you guys are just way too sensitive about fucking anything. Be told, I've had this Goliath bird eater now for a couple of weeks now, and I actually really do enjoy it. It's probably my favorite tarantula. I mean, obviously it's the one you first see because it's in this big tank and will eventually be in an even bigger tank. However, it's really my most active spider. It's always on the move. It's always doing something. Unless I look at it, then it freezes and doesn't move a muscle. But it's been by far the most interesting tarantula to feed and the most interesting tarantula to observe, and I really have grown such an appreciation and love for this spider. In the last video, you guys saw the 2 expo pickups I made personally, which is going to be this absolutely fantastic curly hair tarantula. Just as fantastic, and something that I might like a little bit more, the Brazilian black, of course. 2 really awesome tarantulas that I cannot wait to get in some display enclosures. Again, that is coming next video. I wanted to make sure I talked about each and every tarantula, so I could just focus on the next video being building out all these amazing display tarantula enclosures. And then lastly, of course, is the jumping spiders. While this is more of Casey's thing, not my thing, so it's not down here, it's upstairs. I'm not bringing all my film equipment upstairs. It is note to talk about it. We have 4 jumping spiders. That's about all there is to talk about them. Okay, now you guys are caught up with all the tarantulas that I currently own, all the spiders that I currently own. For the people that can be like, jumping spider's not a tarantula, you can't say they're all... Now that you guys are all caught up, we can finally get back to that seat and talk about the new tarantulas that I have not revealed until right now. And real quick, before we continue on with this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Fallow. There's one thing I love more than taking care of the captive animals that I have over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. It is helping out the wild and natural native wildlife. However, with how much charity fraud there is out in the world right now, it can be very difficult trying to figure out which ones are right and which ones are just going to end up stealing your money. That is why I absolutely love Fallow. Now, what is Fallow? Fallow is a company that is partnered with animal conservationists that also sell bracelets. However, it's not the bracelet that's the really cool thing that's helping with conservation, it's what comes with it. Now, when you order from Fallow and get a bracelet, you're also going to get this. What this is going to tell you is with each individual animal you get, it's going to tell you exactly where your money's going. For instance, with the polar bear, your funds are going to the Polar Bears International. If you get the lion bracelet, each purchase helps contribute to Iowasa Lions. Iowa. You guys get the point. I think that's enough. You get to help out wildlife and you get a cool bracelet. Nope, it's one step further. See, on each card as well, you also get a QR code. Scanning that QR code actually gets you to show and tracking a specific animal that is being helped through these sites. For instance, with the polar bear bracelet I have also Cloud the polar bear and can actually track that animal. Or I also have Namat. It's a lion that I can track on the site as well. Absolutely fantastic. What more can I say? Cool bracelet, the good feeling you get with helping wildlife, and hours of fun watching a lion go back and forth. Or whatever lions do, I don't really know. If you want some more information on Fallow, make sure to peep the link I have down there in the description and to use the code down there as well. You get a discount on your purchase and your boy gets a small cutback if you do. I very much appreciate it. It helps us in everything we do over here. Thank you guys so much. Let's get back to the video. I do want to give a quick shout out to KF Invertebrates for supplying me with all these tarantulas. Everything except for the GBB and curly hair came from him. He has been absolutely awesome. It's a great place to get tarantulas. If you guys are interested in any of the species we're talking about, make sure to go hit him up. I'll have his links right down there in the description. First tarantula I want to talk about is probably going to be my favorite out of all of them. I don't know yet. I don't know which one's my favorite, but this one's definitely amazing. That species is going to be Ephibophus marinus, otherwise known as the skeleton leg tarantula. Yeah, that's right. I'm learning Latin. Gonna speak the language of tarantula people, not that common language like peasants. This zoo has been absolutely fantastic. While not the most colorful tarantula, I mean, yeah, it is pretty much just brown, but does have the cool white on the legs, hence skeleton leg is the common name. The real thing I really do enjoy about this guy, which it's kind of on brand. You know, I like Arguses, I like Tokays, and I like this tarantula because of its defensiveness. It's one of these tarantulas that most of the time isn't going to run away, or at least in my very limited experience of owning it, it has not tried to run away. However, what it is going to do is do a lot of defensive threat posturing. Now, what I mean like that is probably the B-roll I'm showing you guys right now, and that's going to be animal sticking up, showing its fangs, doing... But, like, it's a tarantula, so it looks a lot scarier and not as cringy as, like, when I do it. Really cool tarantula. I've witnessed this guy feed a couple of times. Funny enough, I've tried a couple of superworms, and the first time I tried to feed him, I fed him a superworm and he started eating it, but then I went to go move him back because I had it, like, on right here, and I was moving it back to the area, and he immediately dropped it to threat pose on me, which I just thought was... I mean, whatever you gotta do, buddy. Absolutely amazing. Obviously, if I like the spicy geckos, if I like the spicy monitor lizards, of course I'm gonna like the spicy tarantulas. And when I say spicy, I mean attitude, not venom. I actually don't really want to get any spiciness inside these veins. I got enough problems as it is right now. Poecilotheria... What?
Beautiful, big Poecilotheria regalis.
Poecilotheria rogalis. Poecilotheria...
Beautiful, big Poecilotheria regalis.
Poecilotheria regalis. The next species we are going to be talking about is one that is probably, I want to say, the most beautiful tarantula in my collection at this point. The GBB is awesome, but I think this one might be a little prettier. And that next one is going to be the Poecilotherium regalis, otherwise known as the Indian Oriental tarantula. I like how that's the one that stumped me, not the Latin. Real quick, why do all these tarantulas sound like I'm casting spells in Harry Potter? Jesus Christ, man. Absolutely beautiful tarantula is found commonly in India. At least I can only assume without doing any research and just hearing the common name. Characteristics of this absolutely amazing animal is going to be a white tarantula with yellow banding around the legs, and actually from what I can see right here, it's almost this metallic, I don't know what color you would call that, bluish, teal. It's kind of like those cool custom wraps that they do on those like street racer cars. Why did I sound like such a boomer when I said that? Absolutely beautiful tarantula. And I actually did rehouse this one to this one. Still is a temporary enclosure. They are getting upgraded. Again, next video, I keep saying that. But it wasn't a little bit of a small one. This one actually is a mover. It is very, I personally would classify this as a flighty spider. It was a little bit of a task getting it inside this thing. Definitely wasn't defensive or agitated or aggressive in any way, shape, or the form, but did want to run off, and it was a little bit more of a tasking in here. But as I can see in here, it's still doing absolutely fantastic. Again, feeding great, has taken 2 meals, and I really haven't had any issues other than when I moved it and it tried to get away from me. Last but certainly not least, we just have 3 little dudes to talk about. Now, these are going to be Postularia... Fuck, I really can't remember. Postularia vittata, I think, otherwise known as the ghost oriental tarantula. I'm trying. You gotta give me that. I'm at least trying. I'm gonna look very similar to the regius. I already am like forgetting all the names that we saw a little bit earlier, except I guess in my opinion, I mean, here's the regalis, here's the vittata. I think the regalis looks just a little bit cooler in my opinion. It's got the yellow and that blue thing we talked about a little earlier. These are mostly just kind of like a white and black tarantula. Still very cool. I still enjoy them. I did want some slings I could grow up. That one's more of, I would classify like as a juvie subadult, where these are little tiny babies. These are actually gifts from Kelly. So again, Kelly, thank you so much. KF Invertebrates, got the link right down in the description. So he gifted me all 3 of these guys, which I'm very excited for. Super awesome. Little baby slings. These guys have given me no trouble. I believe this was the only one that I had trouble eating. He would not eat roaches, or she. These other 2 were smashing food. Absolutely awesome. When I first approached, I did give this one a cricket last night, and it does, as you can see from the little web thing going on right there, it did look like it did eat. So very awesome. All 3 eating, which means every single tarantula over here is at least feeding for me. There you got it, boys and girls. You guys are now all caught up with all the tarantulas we own over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. If you guys are interested in some more tarantula content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because the next episode is definitely going to be a great one that you won't want to miss. Of course, doing all that great stuff, liking the video really helps out the channel. As always, thank you so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.